Where were you shot? Which part of the body? Where did the bullet
Oh, man, I got shot in my hand. My thumb came out of my hand, my face.
Shot in the face?
Yeah.
Where did that come out?
Like the tooth.
Wow, oh my goodness, there's a hole there.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm surprised the bullet went through there, but it's alarming.
Yeah, it kind of changed my voice too, and this is the voice that sells 8 million records, so I think everything happens for a reason.
Today, I'm about to share a tale that might seem like something straight out of fiction, too unbelievable to be real. But rest assured, this is no concoction of imagination. This is the gritty, raw account of what led to Curtis James Jackson being struck in both legs, chest, hip, arm, jaw, and hand. However, long before he adopted the moniker 50 Cent and endured those life-altering bullets, he was merely another youth navigating the unforgiving streets of South Jamaica, Queens. In the tumultuous era of the 1980s, crack epidemic, Curtis was just a young boy, swept into the hustle and chaos of his environment.
Dealers went further, developing a form of cocaine that was even cheaper and packed a lot more punch.
This is it. The drug so powerful it will empty the money from your pockets, make you sell the watch off your wrist, the clothes off your back.
Or kill your mother. Yep, that's what we're seeing.
On the streets of New York, it's called crack, and the deals go down quickly.
By the tender age of 12, the young 50 Cent had already immersed himself in the perilous world of drug dealing and street hustling.
So how old were you when you got involved in selling drugs yourself?
Around 12.
12 years old, man.
Yeah.
During this tumultuous period, hip-hop wasn't at the forefront of 50's priorities. Instead, his days were consumed by the harsh realities of street life, where survival meant hustling for his next meal. With his mother's passing when he was only 8 and never having met his father, 50 lacked positive role models in his life. Instead, he found himself looking up to the drug dealers who ruled the corners of South Jamaica, particularly one figure who commanded respect, Kenneth McGriff, better known as Supreme. Supreme was a formidable presence, a drug kingpin whose name struck fear into the hearts of many. He operated the Supreme team with precision, akin to a Fortune 500 company, dealing in white powder with a customer base entrenched in South Jamaica. Under Supreme's guidance, the Supreme team flourished, allegedly raking in over $200,000 a day at its peak. Though not on the level of notorious figures like Pablo Escobar or El Chapo, Supreme's empire was formidable, with hundreds of members under his command. Among these members was 50's mentor and close confidant, Black Just. Their bond transcended mere friendship. Black Just became the elder brother 50 never had, guiding him through the perilous streets. It was Black Just who gifted 50 his first motorcycle and financed his boxing aspirations, while also nurturing his burgeoning interest in rap. As 50 honed his skills, Black Just provided the support and guidance he needed, fostering a talent that would soon captivate the world. In 1996, fate intervened when a friend introduced 50 to Jam Master Jay, who took the budding artist under his wing. Jam Master Jay imparted invaluable lessons, teaching 50 the intricacies of songwriting and structure. As 50 delved deeper into the world of hip-hop, so did Supreme. Despite his incarceration in 1987 and subsequent guilty plea for operating a criminal enterprise, Supreme emerged from prison in 1994 with a newfound perspective. Recognizing the burgeoning hip-hop scene as an opportunity for reinvention, Supreme set his sights on the music industry. Partnering with Murder Inc. Records, Supreme aimed to cement his legacy as a hip-hop legend, transitioning from the shadows of the streets to the limelight of the music industry. In the early 2000s, Murder Inc. Records stood as one of the most prominent labels in the country, with Supreme at its helm, steering his empire toward a new era of prosperity and acclaim.
It was the most notorious rap record label of the early 2000s, with a string of chart-topping hits backed by a sound and image that crossed over from the streets to pop culture. Led by hip-hop mastermind and producer,
The label was spearheaded by Irv Gotti, with a roster boasting talents like Black Child, Charlie Baltimore, Ashanti, and the iconic Ja Rule. Aligning with Supreme not only provided a layer of protection against rival factions, but also bolstered Murder Inc.'s street credibility. With Ja Rule emerging as one of the country's most prominent rappers during this era, Supreme's decision appeared to be a masterstroke. Under Supreme's influence, Murder Inc. Records flourished, reaping significant financial rewards and widespread acclaim. However, Their success hit a roadblock in 1999 when Ja Rule fell victim to a robbery orchestrated by a man named Troy. Supposedly driven by allegations of infidelity, Troy targeted Ja Rule during a music video shoot, snatching his chain in a brazen act of revenge. Swiftly, Supreme mobilized his connections to retrieve the stolen property, reaffirming his indispensable role within Murder, Inc. Yet tensions simmered beneath the surface. When Ja Rule spotted Troy conversing with 50 Cent at a club, it ignited the spark that would ignite their infamous feud. According to 50 Cent, this encounter marked the genesis of their animosity, setting the stage for a clash that would reverberate throughout the rap world.
A friend of mine's robbed Ja Rule. And I'm in a club, and I see the nigga, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm chilling. He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him, and he feel like, oh shit, I shouldn't speak to this dude, because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him.
Ja Rule believed that 50 Cent was involved in Troy's robbery. However, 50 Cent insisted he was only spending time with Troy because they were friends. You have to grasp how courageous it was for 50 Cent to confront Ja Rule. At that time, 50 Cent was a new rapper signed to Columbia Records, while Ja Rule had already achieved platinum record sales. Ja Rule had the backing of a major label and strong industry support, but 50 Cent was just a gritty rapper with his sharp intellect and fiery persona.
Bottom line is, I'm a crook with a deal. If my record don't sell, I'm a rob and steal. You better recognize, nigga, I'm straight from the street. These industry niggas are starting to look like something to eat.
However, Ja Rule denies ever seeing 50 Cent and Troy together. Ja Rule claims their conflict started because the Murder, Inc. crew snubbed 50 Cent while he was shooting the video for the song Murder for Life, which happened after the robbery. The exact cause of their feud may remain a mystery, but what we do know is that 50 Cent wasn't going to tolerate any disrespect. Before taking action, he discussed the situation with Supreme. Allegedly, Supreme advised him to leave it alone, referring to Ja Rule and his crew as pussy, but also indicating they were his source of income. Despite this, the beef escalated further. 50 Cent publicly called out the entire Murder, Inc. crew, including Irv Gotti.
And from there, things turned ugly.
So yo, 50, what's the definition of a wankster, man? I mean, what is that?
Ja Rule, Irv Gotti. I'll tell you personally, the Murder, Inc., the people that you see like Irv, Ja, the people that are involved in the business aspect are bitches. Like, these niggas don't got no hood in them.
50 and J. Rule crossed paths at the Swiss Hotel in Atlanta, where both were scheduled to perform at the same show. 50's manager, Chaz Williams, urged them to talk and try to resolve their differences rather than resorting to violence. However, their discussion quickly escalated into a physical altercation, marking the first time they clashed in person. During the altercation, 50 managed to snatch Ja Rule's chain, wasting no time in flaunting his victory to the world. He released the diss track, Your Life's on the Line, accompanied by a music video that featured a particularly humiliating moment in hip-hop history. 50 wearing Ja Rule's stolen chain. Supreme eventually retrieved the chain from 50 and returned it to Ja Rule. But in exchange, 50 received a watch. However, the disrespect didn't end there. Things were about to escalate further. Ja Rule and Murder, Inc. attempted to sabotage 50's career in the industry, hindering his growth. On March 24, 2000, tensions boiled over once again. Ja Rule and 50 happened to be at the Hit Factory building, albeit in separate rooms. When J. Rule learned that 50 was nearby in the Hit Factory studio, he persuaded his associates to confront 50, as Ja Rule himself was unable to join them due to being on crutches. A physical altercation ensued involving 50 and 4 others against Black Child and other members of Murder, Inc.
Now, I mean, beef is when you see a nigga in this fucking studio or wherever, and the nigga wanna talk, and niggas was like, nah, ain't nothing to talk about, right? It's like 5 of us and 5 of them, and niggas is getting it on and fighting and bang. Some way, somehow, the lights got hit off, and niggas was getting it on in the dark.
50 Cent endured a harrowing experience when he was stabbed by Black Child, though he managed to survive the attack. Black Child was subsequently arrested, and a judge issued a restraining order in 50's favor against members of Murder, Inc. This incident sparked rumors that 50 was a snitch, but the true turning point came with the release of the song Ghetto Quran. In Ghetto Quran, 50 name-dropped several prominent drug dealers, hustlers, and gangsters in Queens. This not only targeted his rivals, but also exposed street business to the public, including law enforcement. 50 maintained that he wasn't trying to snitch, but rather pay homage to the OGs. However, Supreme had had enough. He decided to put an end to the 50 Cent problem once and for all. Supreme allegedly paid $25,000 for 50 Cent's assassination. On May 24, 2000, 50 faced the biggest scare of his life. At around 12 p.m., 50's friend, Curtis Brown, waited for him in front of his grandmother's house. 50 sat in the back seat alongside his friend's girlfriend. As 50 went to retrieve his diamond pen, he grabbed his gun, too. Though he noticed a car arriving on the block, he didn't pay it much mind until he got into the car himself.
Behind me is my grandmother's home. I came out like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, May 24th. She was bent over, actually planting flowers in the garden, and I walked over here to sit in the actual vehicle that my friend was waiting for me in, and the car pulled up. On the side of us, a guy got out the passenger seat of that car, came around behind it, and shot through the actual car.
The bullet tore into his face, arms, legs, hip, and chest, inflicting severe injuries. 50 suffered a swollen tongue, a broken leg, and lost a wisdom tooth. These injuries also contributed to his slurred voice. He remained hospitalized for 13 days before being released.
What does it feel like to be shot? Is it a physical feeling?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much as people imagine it hurts because of your adrenaline and how the shock of what's actually going on. It hurts after.
Did you feel the first one or the ninth one?
I don't even know. I didn't know my legs were broke.
50 Cent was shot by a man known as Daryl Hamo Baum. Baum, a former friend and bodyguard of Mike Tyson, targeted not only 50 Cent, but also ordered the shootings of E-Money Bags and Big Nose Troy. Supreme, orchestrating these attacks, was eventually convicted of his crimes in 2001 and sentenced to life in prison without parole. This incident profoundly altered 50 Cent's life forever.
So when going through that experience, when you get hurt that bad, either your fear consumes you or you become a bit insensitive.
Initially, 50 Cent hit rock bottom as he lost his deal with Columbia Records. However, after recovering from his injuries, he returned to the studio and produced one of the most acclaimed mixtapes titled Guess Who's Back. This mixtape caught the attention of Eminem, leading to 50 Cent being signed to Shady Records. Since then, he has never looked back, solidifying his place in the music industry.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you saw and want to catch more of our content, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel.